was not a peaceful night for Western Aleppo. I could count explosions every 10, 20 minutes, sometimes multiple explosions. Now that it's light, I can show you some of the aftermath. This, for example, happened at 6:30 in the morning. A rebel homemade rocket, we're told this is one fragment of it, landed into that apartment over there. It flew into a window, blowing everything out. It was a minor miracle that nobody was killed, though 3 young girls are now in hospital. This is in Al-Hamidiyah, but there are many more places like this.
A year ago, I got this during shelling in Aleppo, and now my 3 children have been injured by shelling. All of them are currently in hospital. The rebels are face to face with the Syrian army. Why don't they fight the army? Why do they bomb us instead?
23 injured in the day's shelling. Children, women, the elderly. The shelling is entirely indiscriminate. The only point to it seems to be to terrorize the city. As we spoke to Adnan, more shells landed nearby, as if to hammer the message home. We couldn't get closer. The area is watched by rebel snipers. We were told to go back. Another destroyed house. This one was hit in the morning. Locals said it was a gas canister bomb, a huge cylinder packed with nails and explosives, and particularly destructive, a specialty of the rebels. The rescuers are now digging through the rubble. They're looking for the body of a 13-year-old girl. Apparently they can see one of her arms now, but it's dangerous and slow going. It's all unstable. In all, it took them 6 hours to drill into the shattered apartment and clear the rubble around the girl. A girl who should not even have been there.
Her father told her and her brother not to go to school because there was heavy shelling going on. So they stayed home, and then the rocket hit it.
The father waited downstairs. At one point, he had to be restrained as grief had overpowered him. Her name was Sarah. One of 2 children in the family, a 13-year-old girl, 20-year-old brother. Both died in a room behind this wall. We asked a neighbor what Sarah was like.
She was a well-behaved girl. Her family is very well respected and liked by all.
We've heard almost the same words before about the deaths of other girls here, and other boys, and men, and women, and doubtless we'll hear them again. Morad Gazdiev, RT in Aleppo.
I was an Army officer. I was a psychological operations analyst, counterterrorism. I had a top secret clearance. I was in the Bush administration from 2003 to 2008. I worked at the State Department as a counterterrorism analyst. Benghazi was not an Egyptian filmmaker issue. It was bad guys. Bad guys that we were employing that were coming in from various sources to usurp and destabilize and kick out of power Muammar Gaddafi. And they were being funded through a lot of Swiss banks and European banks and other banks. But we were funding bad guys. Just coming out now. So Hillary Clinton, when she gets up and gives all her lies, well, we know that the horse is the same color. There's money that Swiss banks have been paying to bad guys in the Middle East, ISIS now, that we've known about since 2012, and we have not shut it down. Now this is interesting too, and you can't make this up. UBS and HSBC are all known for terrorist financing. They prosecuted Birkenfeld, the Swiss banker, who came to them and said, I've got all this terrorist financing information, money laundering information, Lanny Brewer and Eric Holder, working with Hillary Clinton, because Brad showed me State Department cables, and I said, Brad, I was at the State Department when these cables were written. I was in the middle of it. So Lanny Breuer and Eric Holder and Hillary Clinton, in her power as Secretary of State, conspired to prosecute Birkenfeld, hide his information, and threw him in jail.
We should never finance ISIL or ISIS or any terrorist organization.
Or we did, and Hillary did. Or we did, and Hillary did. And Hillary did.
I wouldn't say that that was the purpose of the program. The purpose of the program was to arm the moderates.
Can you tell us what the total number of trained fighters remains?
We're talking four or five.
All of Ramadi has galvanized the Iraqi government. So with the additional steps I ordered last month, we're speeding up training of ISIL forces, including volunteers from Sunni tribes in Anbar province.
So, I mean, that is the land of unconfirmed. We came, we saw, he died. She's just a devil woman with evil on her mind. Beware the devil woman, she's gonna get you. She's just a devil woman with evil on her mind. Beware the devil woman, she's gonna get you from behind.
So we helped build ISIS. Now there's a danger there. Weapons from Benghazi ended up in the hands of ISIS. So we helped build ISIS. So we helped build ISIS.